Have you ever noticed how every few years the advice changes? One decade we're told to eat low fat. The next it's all about cutting carbs. One day coffee is good for you. The next it's poison. Fish oil, turmeric, green tea, blueberries. They come and go like fashion trends. And through it all, your pain is still there. The swelling in your joints, that dull ache in your back, the brain fog, the gut discomfort, the fatigue that makes getting out of bed feel like a chore. So here's the question. If all this healthy advice worked, why are so many people still suffering? That's what I kept asking myself. And then I saw something that shocked me. A man in his 70s, crippled by inflammation, barely able to walk, suddenly got his life back. Not from cutting sugar, not from adding more spinach, but from eating red meat. Yes, red meat. The very food we've been told to avoid for decades. The food blamed for heart disease, cancer, inflammation. But what if we've been misled? What if the food that's been painted as the villain is actually the hero your body's been craving? In this video, we're going to talk about inflammation, but not the usual lecture, not the eat more kale routine. No, we're going to look at the root cause, the real reason why your body stays inflamed, and what thousands of people over 60 have done to reverse it. And the answer might surprise you. Most people think inflammation is something you can see or feel clearly, like a swollen ankle or a red rash. But the truth is, chronic inflammation doesn't always shout. Sometimes it whispers. And if you're not listening closely, you might miss it. So let me ask you a few simple questions. Do you often wake up feeling stiff, even after a full night's sleep? Do you have brain fog that makes it hard to focus or recall simple things? Do you feel tired even on days you don't do much? What about your gut? Do you feel bloated or gassy after meals you used to tolerate just fine? Or maybe your mood has changed. You feel more anxious, irritable, even down, and you can't quite explain why. If any of that sounds familiar, there's a good chance you're dealing with silent inflammation. See, chronic inflammation isn't just about pain. It's a fire that smolders beneath the surface, sometimes for years. And while it might not hurt like a broken bone, over time, it quietly damages your joints, your blood vessels, your brain, and especially your gut. One woman commented recently, "I just thought I was getting old. The aches, the sleep issues, the tiredness, it all seemed normal. But then I changed what I ate, and it was like someone lifted a fog I didn't know I was living in." That's the power of understanding inflammation. Because once you know what it looks like, you can start to fight back. And it's not just about living longer. It's about waking up with more energy, having fewer pills to take, being able to enjoy your food again without worrying how your stomach will react. Instead of accepting pain as your new normal, what if you realize your body's been trying to send you a signal all along? It's time we learned how to listen. To really fix inflammation, we have to stop treating it like the enemy and start asking, why is it happening in the first place? Because inflammation in itself isn't bad. In fact, it's one of the most important things your body does to heal. If you get a cut or a sprain, inflammation rushes in to protect and repair. That's acute inflammation, short, sharp, and useful. But when the process doesn't shut off, when your body thinks it's under constant attack, it becomes chronic. And that's when the real trouble begins. So here's the big question. What's triggering your immune system to stay on all the time? For many people, the answer is hidden deep inside the gut. You may have heard of something called leaky gut or increased intestinal permeability. It sounds dramatic, but all it means is that the protective lining of your gut has been damaged. Tiny holes start to form, and instead of keeping the bad stuff out, bacteria, toxins, undigested food particles, it lets them seep into your bloodstream. Your immune system sees those intruders and goes on high alert. Every day, every meal, every bite. That's how inflammation begins. Not from outside, but from inside. So what causes this damage in the first place? Think of your gut like a garden. Now imagine dumping pesticides on it every day. That's what seed oils, processed sugars, alcohol, and stress do to your gut lining. They slowly erode the tight junctions that hold your intestinal wall together. Now add in antibiotics, NSAIDs like ibuprofen, lack of sleep, and too much sitting, and suddenly your gut's not just leaky, it's on fire. And when your gut is inflamed, the whole body pays the price. Joints ache, skin flares up, hormones go haywire, brain fog sets in. You could be eating the healthiest salad in the world, but if your gut can't process it properly, your body still treats it like a threat. That's why so many people feel stuck. They've cleaned up their diet, but they're still inflamed because the damage has already been done and no one ever told them how to repair it. Here's the good news. Your gut can heal, but first you need to know what it truly needs. When your body's inflamed, most people turn to pills, anti-inflammatories, antacids, sleep aids, painkillers. But the truth is, your body's already trying to heal itself. It just needs the right tools. And one of the most powerful tools is something you've probably never heard much about. It's called glutamine. Glutamine is the most abundant amino acid in your body. But what makes it special isn't how common it is. It's what it does. Glutamine is fuel for the cells that line your intestines. It helps rebuild the gut wall, tighten the junctions, and restore the protective barrier that keeps toxins out of your bloodstream. In short, glutamine is the body's natural gut healer. In a 2024 meta-analysis, researchers found that supplementing glutamine significantly reduced gut permeability. That's the fancy term for leaky gut. Other studies showed that it helped reduce inflammation markers like IL-6 and TNF-A, which are often elevated in people with autoimmune diseases, joint pain, and fatigue. But here's what most people don't know. You don't need to buy a supplement. Glutamine is already found in real food. And the richest food source? Red meat, beef, lamb, bison. They're all loaded with naturally occurring glutamine, along with other nutrients like zinc, B12, creatine, and carnitine, all of which play a role in reducing inflammation and supporting immune health. Now let's be clear, not all meat is created equal. A fast food burger with a bun soaked in seed oil is not medicine, but a clean, grass-fed steak, cooked gently, paired with nourishing fats and easy-to-digest veggies, that can be powerful. One man shared, "I didn't even realize how bad I felt until I started eating real food. Just beef, salt, and water. Within a week, my digestion was calm. My joints didn't ache. I slept better than I had in 20 years." Healing starts when we give the body what it truly needs. Instead of layering on more supplements, powders, or guesswork, what if you started by feeding your gut the most ancient natural fuel it knows? And what if that changed everything? Red meat. Just saying the words might make you tense up a little. For years, we've been told it's dangerous, that it causes heart disease, cancer, inflammation, that it should be eaten sparingly, if at all. So when someone suggests that red meat might actually heal the body, it sounds crazy, right? But what if we've been looking at it all wrong? Let me tell you about Mary. She's 72, used to be a school teacher, and for the last decade, her life had been shrinking. Her hands ached. Her knees were swollen. She couldn't walk far without resting. The fatigue was constant. Food didn't sit right. Doctors told her it was just aging. Try anti-inflammatories, and they said. Maybe cut back on red meat. Then one day, her son, who was deep into health research, challenged her to try something different. "Mom, just for a week," he said. "No sugar, no seed oils, no bread, just beef, salt, and water." She thought it was ridiculous, but she tried it. 3 days in, the bloating was gone. Day 5, her hands weren't throbbing. Day 7, she got out of bed and didn't feel tired. By the third week, Mary said something she hadn't said in years. I feel like myself again. Now, was it magic? No, it was metabolic reset. It was removing inflammatory triggers, and it was finally giving her body the building blocks it needed to repair. You see, red meat isn't just protein. It's a concentrated source of nutrients your body can actually absorb and use, especially as you age. Vitamin B12 for brain function, heme iron to carry oxygen to your tissues, zinc to support immune balance, creatine for muscle and mental energy, and of course, glutamine to heal the gut lining. For older adults, these nutrients are harder to get from plant sources alone, especially if digestion is already compromised. Now, let's be clear. If you're eating charred, overcooked, grain-fed, processed meat covered in sugary sauces, yes, that can trigger inflammation. But clean, simply prepared red meat, especially from grass-fed sources, can be one of the most anti-inflammatory foods you eat. In fact, studies show that when consumed as part of a low-toxin, whole food diet, red meat does not increase inflammation markers. It can actually reduce them by calming the immune system through nutrient density and gut repair. Instead of asking, is red meat bad? Maybe the better question is, what kind of red meat and in what context? Because when you remove the toxic oils, the sugars, the chemicals, what's left is something deeply nourishing, something our ancestors thrived on, something your body just might be craving. So the next time someone tells you red meat causes inflammation, you might ask, compared to what? Now maybe you're watching this and thinking, but I don't eat red meat. I'm vegetarian, or it just doesn't sit well with me. That's okay. Healing inflammation isn't about forcing one food on everyone. It's about understanding the root cause and then finding the tools that work for your body. Let's go back to the gut. If leaky gut and immune overactivation are the core problems, then the goal is to restore that barrier and calm that immune response. And while red meat is a powerful tool for some, it's not the only one. So what else can you use? Let's start with cabbage. Cabbage juice has been shown in small studies to support gut healing, especially in people with ulcers or colitis. It contains compounds like glutamine, yes, it's in plants too, and sulforaphane, which help reduce inflammation and support the growth of healthy gut cells. A simple homemade cabbage soup or even raw cabbage juice blended with carrot and a bit of apple can be surprisingly soothing. Next, black seed oil, also known as black cumin seed oil. This ancient remedy has been used for centuries across the Middle East and Asia. Modern research backs it up. The active compound, the maquinone, has been shown to reduce inflammation as effectively as ibuprofen, without the side effects. In one clinical trial, people taking just 1 teaspoon of black seed oil per day had measurable improvements in joint pain, sleep, and mood. And here's something important for older adults. Black seed oil may also help regulate blood sugar, blood pressure, and cholesterol. 3 things that often go hand in hand with chronic inflammation. Other options: bone broth, rich in collagen and amino acids that support the gut lining, raw kefir or yogurt. If tolerated, they can help repopulate the gut with beneficial bacteria, fermented vegetables, like sauerkraut or kimchi, which bring both probiotics and natural anti-inflammatory compounds. Fasting or time-restricted eating, giving your digestive system time to rest and reset. And yes, even plant-based sources of glutamine, like spinach, parsley, or legumes, can play a role, though they're often less bioavailable than animal sources. The key is this: whatever path you choose, focus on what heals, not just what fits a label, because whether you're carnivore, vegan, or somewhere in between, your body speaks the same language. It wants to feel better. It's easy to focus only on adding the right foods, But here's something many people overlook. Healing doesn't just come from what you eat. It comes from what you stop eating. Think of it like trying to clean a wound. You can apply all the healing creams in the world, but if you keep rubbing dirt into it, it'll never get better. Your gut is the same way, and perhaps the biggest source of that dirt in today's diet? Seed oils, canola, soybean, corn, sunflower, safflower, cottonseed. These oils are cheap, shelf-stable, and everywhere, in salad dressings, in crackers, in frozen meals, even in health bars. But here's the problem. These oils are high in omega-6 fatty acids, specifically linoleic acid. In small amounts, omega-6 is fine, but in excess, and most Americans consume 20 times more than needed, it becomes highly inflammatory. Excess linoleic acid can disrupt cell membranes, fuel free radicals, and trigger immune reactions that keep your body in a constant state of alert. Now pair that with refined sugar, which spikes insulin and feeds bad gut bacteria, and refined flour, which breaks down almost instantly into glucose. And you've got the perfect recipe for inflammation. And if you're over 60, your body simply doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Your detox system slows down. Your gut lining repairs more slowly. Your sleep is more fragile. So even a small amount of these triggers, daily, can keep your body inflamed. What should you do instead? Start by swapping your oils. Use extra virgin olive oil, coconut oil, grass-fed butter, or ghee. These fats are more stable, less inflammatory, and contain nutrients your cells need to rebuild. Cut the packaged snacks, even the healthy ones. If it has a long ingredient list, if it's shelf-stable for a year, it's probably not doing your body any favors. And pay attention to sauces and dressings. That little squirt of low-fat ranch or vinaigrette, it might be packed with more seed oil than you'd imagine. Instead of asking, what can I eat to feel better? Try asking, what's silently keeping me sick? Because the truth is, until you remove what's harming you, even the best foods can only do so much. By now you might be wondering, where do I even begin? The information can feel overwhelming. Red meat helps, but not all red meat. Seed oils are bad, but they're in everything. Black seed oil, cabbage juice, fasting, fermented foods. There's a lot to take in, so let's make it simple. Don't change everything at once. Just pick one thing. Maybe today, you stop using vegetable oil and switch to olive oil. Maybe tonight, you skip the bread and just eat your protein and vegetables. Maybe tomorrow, you try a cup of bone broth before breakfast. Maybe this week, you commit to reading every ingredient label. And if it has more than 5 ingredients, you leave it on the shelf. Small steps, big difference. And if you're curious about trying a reset, here's one simple challenge. For just 3 days, eat nothing but clean protein, healthy fats, and non-starchy vegetables. No sugar, no seed oils, no grains, no packaged food, just real food. Then listen to your body. Do you sleep better? Is your joint pain less intense? Is your mind a little clearer? If so, that's your body talking. That's the inflammation starting to fade. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. So try it. And if you do, come back and share your story in the comments. What did you feel? What changed? Because this isn't just about food. It's about getting your life back. And maybe, just maybe, the first step starts with what's on your plate.